Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Huge, massive reveal today. It's Doom of Dimensions, the new core set, finally getting its first reveal. We knew this was kind of coming up here this week, but yeah, we find out that it's actually DDD support, like we thought it would be based on the name. 9 new cards here. This archetype already has a really solid base. It has its own Rhoda, it has its own Stratos, it has some pretty good end board pieces, it has some extenders. It has a Link 2 that basically is like full combo if you just make the Link 2 from what I remember. And a lot of really solid cards. So let's see how they capitalize on it. And let's jump into it. We got 9 new cards. Let's get moving. Starting off here, we start with DD Lance Soldier. I love the artwork on this one. I end up being torn on a lot of DDD artworks where like some I really like and some I'm like I could leave them. No big deal to me. But yeah, so here we go. Like this one, DD Lance Soldier, level 2 Dark Fiend Tuner. 400 attack, 400 defense. You can only use both of its effects once per turn. The first effect is you can target a DD monster you control, increase its level by up to the number of dark contract cards you control and in your graveyard. I like that it's up to, so if you're looking for different levels, you can choose, you know what I mean? It gives you a couple different level modulations you can play within. And this is a nice effect for a tuner, like being able to just, as a tuner, modify to make sure you're being able to make whatever synchro you want from your best options is really good. So that's fine. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a dark contract card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. This effect's nice as well, just being able to come back. I don't know how much synchro climbing you do in DDD, but like if they do that, that's a nice bonus there. The only other thing I'd think about with this is this card's kind of a brick, right? So it might be an important engine piece. So this card has one of written all over it, but in the right combo lines and sequences, like this card could easily be a really important card to get like 2 synchros on the field. But we'll see. Next up here we have this guy, another one I like the design. It's cool artwork. This is DD Defense Soldier. Very cool. He's a level 4 Dark Fiend, so keeping the Fiend trend here. 0 attack, 18 defense. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. You can activate one of these effects. Target one DD card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon it. Okay, all right. Banish one DD monster from your graveyard. If your DDD monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate or cards or effects in response. Okay, fine. The first one is to me better than the second one, right? It's a better extender. You're gonna end up with scales like pretty consistently. So just being able to pull them out is pretty nice there. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard as cost to add one DD Pendulum monster from your extra deck or graveyard to your hand. That's face up extra deck, by the way. That's fine. That's nice icing on the cake to just get value back to hand, or to keep pushing potentially. This guy's fine as well. Again, like not a starter, potentially an engine card. That's definitely a question I have here for DDDs going forward, because I do remember even a couple of years ago when they were like a better deck in the format, they did struggle with consistency sometimes. So we'll see. Neither of these cards necessarily helping with consistency. That doesn't mean there won't be cards later. Plus, I think one of the cards that they got fairly recently in the OCG is another consistency card for them as well. So, we'll see. We'll see where this lands them. But yeah, okay, still cool. Next up here we have DDD 0 Demise King 0 Machinex. That's a crazy name. Very cool. This one's a pendulum, so level 8 Dark Fiend Pendulum, 3k 0 for the stats. Pendulum scale is 0, which is nice. It means we can even pen summon ones with him. You can only use the pendulum effect on this card once per turn. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can place one Dark Contract continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. That's a starter. I'm liking that because I believe the main starter Dark Contract is just a searcher and it's a continuous. So this one should just be able to get you into that. There's also the one that fuses from grave, and I think this might also get you the trap that's just a Dryden every single turn. So this is really, really good. I like this because it can either be a starter or it can get you an extender or an end board piece or whatever. So that's really, really good. So it's like getting you value, and then it's still a half of your scales to get you a big pen summon later on. Love it. That's really good. As a monster, though, Two hard ones return effects. If a face-up DDD and/or Dark Contract you control is destroyed while this card is face-up in your extra deck, even during the damage step, you can special summon this card. Then you can destroy one card on the field. Whoo! And if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Dang, dude. Okay, this card's nasty. I think this card's nasty, right? This card gives me uh hold on. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. This card gives me Melodious vibes. Not Melodious overall, but like the two new Melodious Pendulum monsters where the deck wasn't really pendulum based. This card gives me those vibes with this effect, right? The fact that this card rotates itself, how those cards got like jumped back into your pendulum scale just every time you summoned a pendulum fusion or a melodious fusion. This card, if any DD card is destroyed, by the way, your deck has, I think, plenty of ways to destroy your own dark contracts and stuff, so that you should be able to trigger it yourself, even as the possibility of triggering it on your opponent's turn to summon this and pop a card. Very cool. And it's even a non-target too. Yeah, this card's nasty, man. The first, like, the pendulum scale effect is maybe good enough to just play this card at 3 as a consistency card anyway, but the icing on the cake with everything else, that card's nice in my opinion. All right, one more pendulum, I think, for the main deck, right? Yeah, one more pendulum monster for the main deck. This is DDDD Great Dimension King Arc Crisis. Holy, this name. This is the most DDD artwork I've ever seen, by the way. You wouldn't have to tell me. Looking at this, I'd know it's a DDD. All right, he's a level 12 Dark Fiend Fusion. Oh, he's a fusion. Sorry, we're already into the extra deck here. Fusion Pendulum monster. 4,000 for the stats. Yo. His pendulum scale is 13, so you can even pen summon 12s, which is crazy. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card once per turn. You can target any number of Dark Contract cards you control, destroy them, then special summon up to that many Doom King Pendulum monsters from your deck and/or extra deck. Sheesh. So if you can target 2 or 3 Dark Contracts on and destroy them, you then just get to summon 3 Doom King Pendulum monsters straight from your extra deck. And I think most of the Doom Kings are like the negators. That's very strong, but you got to get him all the way into the pendulum scale for that. As for his materials, as a fusion monster, he requires 4 fiend monsters, a fusion, a synchro, and exceed, and a pendulum. There's just no way we're doing that. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. Whoa. So if you can just get these in grave or field. Dang, okay. You can only special summon him once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. If this card is special summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. Okay. Can attack all monsters once each. And if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, place it in the pendulum zone. Interesting. Not as impactful on the field, but again, if this is the way we're summoning him, with just banishing these cards to get him on the field first. He is a 4K beater that can attack everything. So going second, he's negating the whole board, right? And he can attack everything. That is pretty threatening going second. If like you're playing through stuff. Now, I don't imagine if you're trying to play through stuff, you're going to have the ability to put a fusion, a synchro, an exceed, and a pendulum fiend engrave. But if you get here, it's cool. I'm kind of torn on this card. I'm just not sure exactly how easy it's going to be to summon this card, especially when like its main effects over here like are mainly going second effects. So like playing into a board, in what world are we getting all 4 of those types of monsters in rotation, like into a board? So I don't know. I'm torn. This card may be giving me anime vibes of like, it's awesome if you pull it off, but like how consistently am I going to do that? We don't want to base our deck around that potentially. I don't know, but maybe a DDD player can fill me in on that. All right, more extract monsters. This is DDD Founder King Clovis. He's fun. He's a level 6 Dark Fiend Synchro, 2100 attack, 1900 defense. This guy is man spreading like crazy. 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner. He's completely generic, which is crazy. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 of your banished DD monsters, or if you control a Dark Contract card, target 1 in your graveyard instead, special summon it. Okay, cool. I would imagine most cases where you're making this, you do have a Dark Contract. Just so many of your plays are going through at least that searcher one. So hopefully that's the case. Um, and then so it's just a really good synchro climb card because you just make this maybe with the tuner a guy above. We make him with the tuner. He reborns the tuner immediately. You make another synchro. The tuner hasn't even used its own effect to reborn itself yet, and you keep going and going. That's cool. I could see that. And if this card becomes banished, you can activate this effect. If your DD monster attacks a defense efficient monster this turn, if like piercing, fine. That's a throwaway effect. But this is fine. This is just like a synchro climbing tool. I could see it being useful in certain combo lines. Next up, we have a new Exceed, of course. This guy's design is really cool. He looks really sick. This is DDD Wisdom King Solomon. Love that. He's cool. Rank 4 Dark Fiend. Okay. 1025 for the stats. So big booty, small attack. 2 level 4 DDs. Finally, we're DD locking us here. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. You can detach one material from this card to add a DD card from your deck to your hand. Ooh. I wonder if this, I don't know off the top of my head, are there any DD monsters that are kind of like an easy one card rank 4 to like super simple? Like this card gets you another card, that card's a 4, they're both 4s, it jumps on the field, make a rank 4. Because then this card I think might be a starter. If that's the case, I don't know the whole archetype though off the top of my head, how easy it is, how quick and easy the deck can make a rank 4 using only DD monsters. I don't know, but this is really good to just be able to add any DD card. If this card becomes banished, you can target a DD effect monster you control. That effect monster gains this effect. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's attack. Again, just giving you those bonus like OTK effects. This card and the guy above. So ideally, the goal is like if you banish him and you banish him for him, he then now is attacks every monster, deals piercing, and when he destroys a monster by battle, your opponent's taking extra damage from the half of the monster, the attack of the monster destroyed. So that's fun, but these cards are more important for their first effects, and they're not bad effects, so it works for me. And it looks like lastly for our extract monsters, we have a new link. The deck already has a really good link 2, and so this is a new link 3. This is DDD Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. Cool name. I don't love his artwork personally, but like fun name. Level 3 Dark Fiend, of course. 2200 attack. He points all 3 down left, down right, and straight down. It does require 2 or more DD monsters, but if you're doing a lot of lines where you're using the DDD Link 2, just having a actual decent end board piece to just take that Link 2 into the Link 3 really easily could be really nice. Especially if that card like doesn't resolve, right? And so just putting one more body on field and then just, you know what I mean, making the 3 to get a decent end board piece could be nice. Okay, what for its actual effects though? We don't even know what it does. Second effect is a hard one's return. The first one is not. Yeah. Use a second effect of this card's name once per turn each. This is worded weird. I'm assuming this might just be 2 hard ones per turn effects, but it might just be a typo. You can target one DD or contract card you control. Destroy it. Also, during your main phase this turn, you can conduct 1 pendulum summon of a DD monster or monsters in addition to your pendulum summon. Whoo! Pen summon twice. Now, it's only for DDs, but whoo! That's crazy. That's so crazy because if you're going through the Link 2, the Link 2 is already setting you up for an easy Link like pendulum summon. And then you link up into this after you've already done your first pen summon, and you're like, I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna get 3. In this card points 3 arrows down, so you're summoning 3 more bodies back. Dang, that card's crazy. Okay. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, quick effect, you can banish 1 DD monster and 1 dark contract card from your graveyard, negate the activation. Ooh, that's pretty strong because it's strong going first in that if you can make this early enough, it's protecting you from certain hand traps. Nib. I would imagine you're already getting drolled before you can ever get to this in most cases, but Nib being probably the biggest one, and potentially another one down the line, like you might be saving yourself from. But even as an end board piece, like a lot of decks are going to have effects that activate in hand. Not every deck, but a lot of them will. So cool. Also a little end board piece. You do have to get a DD monster and a dark contract engrave, but that's the first effect on this card. It destroys the dark contract. So already puts it engraved to set you up here. This is a pretty strong card. I'm curious how much this increases the power ceiling of the deck for sure. All right, and then let's finish with, with what? A spell and a trap? Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, this is Dark Contract with the Zero King. It's a Dark Contract. It's very searchable. Continuous spell. You can only, this card is always treated as a DD card. Ooh, so this is searchable off of the Exceed as well, because it adds any DD card. Okay, cool. Um, let's see. First effect once per turn. You can target one DD card you control except Dark Contract with Zero King. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except DD monsters. Also destroy that card, and if you do, special one DD monster from your deck. And that's pretty good. Target any DD card you control except itself. Destroy it and then summon any other one from deck. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know what the exact best targets are, but that's a pretty good extender, right? The other one's the other Dark Contract's the main starter, but this one's a pretty good extender, and even unbricks some hands potentially that are like not stellar, but they're fine. Normal summon a lackluster DD monster, pop it with this, summon Kepler, and then Kepler's one card combo from there. So that's cool. Once returned during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. Okay, I guess that's the price of just being able to do this every turn, because it's a pretty good effect to be able to do every turn in the grind. So yeah, I like it. That's a decent card that could see play. I don't think it's necessarily a 3 of, probably not, but maybe a 1 of for the scenarios where you have easy access to it. You can search it out and it helps you extend, I could see. And lastly, we have a new trap card. This is Dark Contract with the Different Dimension. We have a trap card in the deck already that's kind of just a pop every turn. I'm curious if this one power creeps that one. You can only use the first and third effect of this card once per turn. First effect says you can shuffle 2 Dark Contracts from your graveyard into the deck, then target one card your opponent controls, or in their graveyard, banish it. So I think the other one's a Trident, like I said. This one is a banish, which is better. The only question is, what is the condition for the other one? This card needs 2 Dark Contracts in grave to be usable. Whereas I don't know what the condition for the other one is, but it's a slightly stronger payoff, or I don't know, a slightly harder setup. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage, whatever. And if this card is destroyed, gain 500. Then, if it was destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you gain another 500. That's fine. Just helps you get some gain back. Also, gives you the ability to win in time. I don't know if DDD's already had access to a time card, but oh, sorry, not even on screen. But just being able to get this, pop it immediately with like one of your cards turn 1, and immediately get the 500 attack or life points, you can win in time in your main phase. So that's a little icing on the cake for this card. Like I said, just got to compare this to the other one, and I don't know if the setup for this one's too much, or if you just prefer the payoff over the other one. I don't know, but still not a bad card regardless, especially if you can set it up so easily. But yeah, really good stuff, like some decent stuff. My favorite card is this one. In terms of how helpful it might be for the deck. I know the deck had consistency issues. This card should do a big number on helping that out. And there's some nice stuff here. I know the deck already had a lot, and there's not a lot of cards that like are crazy to me outside of the Pendulum Monster here. This card reads crazy. The rest read like solid, but we know DDDs already have such a solid base of cards, so they still might be really, really good after a wave like this. But you guys let me know down below. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a DD player myself, so I don't know exactly how well these are going to pair together. But from my perspective, I think they'll have a chance here, especially with the other cards that they got in the OCG semi recently. So let me know your thoughts down below. You are an avid DDD fan. Let me know how much you think these cards allow them to climb competitively. And hopefully they're decent. I like some Pendulum decks, and DDDs is decent. I don't hate them. So I'm curious to see where they land. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys. Stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh! News videos as it comes. I think we're going to be in a slight lull for a little bit. We'll get some news here and there, but I'll keep you guys posted on all of it that is relevant going forward. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.